Welcome back to Living Local. Jamie Duke was once a railroad worker, and now he's a comic making waves in the Midwest comedy scene. And joining me in the studio now is the man himself, Jamie Duke. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, dude. So your story is so interesting to me. How do you go from the railroad to the comedy stage, man? Let's talk about that journey.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Not exactly a normal transition
career.
I worked for BNSF for 10 years in Galesburg.
Oh, wow.
And I made a lot of poor choices in those 10 years.
Sure.
And 4 divorces and 4 marriages, like, why not comedy?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's nowhere else to go but
And
there.
you're working on the 5th, right?
Yes,
You're
always.
on the 5th?
Always.
So what made you kind of take the leap from, working on the railroad, which sounds like a great job, actually. It sounds like a really cool way to see the country and stuff.
Yeah.
How do you make that leap from doing that to stand-up comedy, which is just as hard?
Yes. Well, August of 21, my dad passed away.
Okay.
And so really made me reevaluate my life. And I was like, okay, Jamie, you're not dead.
Yeah.
It's time to reevaluate things and time to go after something you actually want to do in life and go after your dreams, So I figured at 44 at the time was the time to do it. So here we are.
You do have a lot of comedy idols. Is that what kind of pushed you into it?
Yeah, like I like the older ones, like Sam Kinison,
Sure. Okay.
Obviously I like George Carlin.
Sure.
Gosh, there's so many that have passed away. But obviously Dave Chappelle I love the most. He's a great storyteller.
Yeah.
And he's the GOAT of comedy.
Yeah.
So those are some of my idols that I kind of like, you
Sure.
know, love and listen to on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And
do you have any local idols that you kind of like started to watch?
I have a lot of good. Actually, most of my friends on Facebook are now comedians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
I'm like
ultimately-
all my other friends. I'm like, I don't need you anymore. Yeah, like Brian Farrell, who was on here.
Yeah.
That's a really good friend of mine. Austin Engel, he's going to be doing a show with me soon. Yeah, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, yeah. So what are some of your goals with this career path, man?
Well, obviously, quitting a really good job at the railroad. My goals are extremely low now. But I mean, I think it's just to be a better comedian. And obviously, I'd love to have my own special someday, and that's going to be down the road, obviously. But doing shows, and I do a lot of promoting of the shows themselves. And yeah, I mean, there you go.
Yeah. Do you find yourself pretty busy now? Like out of necessity, almost probably.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. There's no GoFundMe page yet, so I mean that's always good. But yeah, I mean I try to work on material as I go, and that's the hardest part for me as a comedian is writing my stuff down because it's just personal, and so it's like I remember that horrible day,
But a lot of that is some of the funniest stuff comes.
It is
absolute truth.
It is,
so.
And one thing about being a comedian is, and I think that I'm learning this as I go along, is you got to find out who you are.
Yeah.
Because people are not going to buy it if they don't believe what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have some shows coming up, right, man?
I do, actually.
Let's talk about one of those.
Let's talk. Yes, me, and 3 other comedians.
Okay.
We're going to be at the Wild Rose Casino next Friday. Doors open up 6:30. We're going to be starting at 7:30. You can go to Wild Rose Casino page and
Yeah, and so how can viewers, find you? Facebook, is that
Facebook?
The best thing
Yes,
to
and also I have a page. It's Jamie's Jokes.
Jamie's Jokes.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So, pretty original, but
Yeah.
seems to work. So.
And beyond the Wild Rose show, do you have anything lined up that you can talk about? I know some things you can't.
I do have some things coming up, but I can't say anything yet.
Yeah. Well, you're a big deal, so
I am a big deal. It's funny that you say that because that's how I introduce myself.
Do you really?
I'm like, I'm Jamie Duke, famous comedian from Clinton, Iowa, and they're like, who? In my head, I am.
You're the most famous comedian from Clinton, Iowa.
Yes, exactly.
But that's how you have to
See,
bill
that's
yourself.
how I look at it too.
So you can give me my 10% for coming up with that for you.
All
later,
right.
And that'll be great.
Okay.
Well, Jamie, thanks for stopping in.
All right,
man.
thank you.
Definitely go find Jamie on Facebook by searching Jamie Duke on Facebook or Jamie's Jokes. We'll have all those details posted on our quadcities.com.